Recently, a bit of a trend's developed for attaching small HD cameras to things like cars, motorcycles, bicycles, and even surfboards, so that you can film your exploits while you're out and about. One of the best cameras that you can get for doing this with is the GoPro HD Hero. But there's just one drawback with this camera, and that's that in the UK it costs about £300, which is about $500 US. Now, a few weeks ago I got hold of this thing, which is a 720p HD camera disguised as a car remote key fob, and it costs about £27. So I thought I'd find a way to mount this camera to my motorcycle to use it as a cheap alternative to cameras like the GoPro. So here's how I went about doing that. Well, the first thing I did was buy this device, and this is a microphone shock mount. It's designed to hold a microphone whilst isolating it from vibrations, which I thought would be a useful feature whilst it's holding a camera. It cost me approximately £15. So the next thing I needed was a piece of plastic tube which I cut out to hold the camera inside. I cut a hole in the top there so I could see the light coming through from the LED whilst it was inside the tube, and the lens points out the front. So then the tube holding the camera slides inside the microphone shock mount as if it was a microphone. As you can see, it's quite a tight fit. But just to make sure that the camera doesn't fall out of the side of this, I also wrap around a piece of Velcro. And then the final thing that I need is this thing, which is a G-clamp for a microphone. And this cost about £10, again delivered from eBay. Now on one end of this is a screw thread that can be tightened up, and on the other end is a screw that can be removed, which attaches into the shock mount for the microphone. So I'll make sure that that thread's good and tight by using a spanner, and then it can slide into and out of the G-mount very easily just by going into this hole and finger tightening it by using this knob. And that's it, that's my mount finished and ready to attach to the motorcycle, so I'll show you how that goes on. My original intention was to attach it around a pipe or a tube, but I didn't find anything that was in a convenient location on my motorcycle, but I did find this piece of plastic fairing on the front, which was perfect for mounting it. The G-clamp can remain permanently attached to the motorcycle, and then the camera can be slotted into it whenever it's required. And it's quite easy to adjust the camera to point in the correct direction. Right, so I think all that's left for me now is to go out and try it on the road. Now I've took the volume way down on this clip, otherwise it would be a little bit too loud. And I must point out that the date at the bottom right there isn't correct. It was actually March 2011 when I took this clip. The date and time can be removed, and if you saw my previous clip for the review of the HD 808 camera, it looked at the end like I'd bricked the camera. Well, it turned out that I hadn't, and I managed to bring it back to life and delete the time and date from the camera. Now this is my replacement camera that I ordered at the same time, and unfortunately I put this camera into the camera mount rather than the other one. So just pretend that the date and time isn't there and just look at the video itself. As you can see, it's doing quite a good job. I'm not entirely sure that the shock mount is reducing the vibrations, but I suppose it isn't doing any harm. I quite like this low down view with the wheel visible on the left hand side. It gives quite a good impression of speed. Now if I did have a GoPro, it would have a 170-degree fisheye lens, which will give a much wider view. But unfortunately there's nothing I can do about that, but bearing in mind I am talking about a camera that cost all in about £50 as opposed to £300, so some compromises have to be accepted. So there you have it. That's how I spent £25 on microphone holders to hold my £26 HD camera to make a quick release camera mount for my motorcycle. Thanks for watching.